Shem is recognized as one of the key figures in the biblical book of Genesis. He was one of the three sons of the patriarch Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, who survived the global deluge in the ark. Below is a comprehensive overview of Shem's importance and the way he is generally understood within the framework of Jehovah's Witness teachings. Let's explore this for about 4 to 5 minutes in a narrative style. 1. Shem's family background and the flood. Shem lived in a uniquely pivotal period of human history, just before and after the flood described in Genesis chapters 6 through 8. Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize the literalness of this global flood account and present Noah as a man of faith who, under God's direction, built an ark to preserve his family and representatives of the animal kinds. Shem was one of 8 humans who entered the ark: Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and the sons' wives. According to Genesis chapter 7 verse 7, they entered the ark to escape the worldwide deluge. Shem's presence within that group testifies that he too was faithful enough to join Noah in obeying Jehovah's instructions regarding the building of the ark and the preparations for the flood. Jehovah's Witnesses underscore that Shem's survival through the flood and his actions afterward reflect his loyalty to true worship and his respect for God's arrangement. 2. The incident with Noah's drunkenness. One notable event involving Shem occurs after the flood. Genesis chapter 9 verses 20 to 29 recounts a situation in which Noah became intoxicated from wine he produced. He lay uncovered in his tent, leading to a situation where Ham saw him and apparently told others about it in a disrespectful manner. Shem and Japheth, on the other hand, respectfully covered their father without looking on his nakedness. Jehovah's Witnesses cite this account to highlight the difference in attitude between Ham's irreverence and Shem's reverence. From their standpoint, this incident displays Shem's upright character. By honoring his father, Shem essentially showed a deep respect for Jehovah's standards of modesty and dignity. Noah later pronounced a blessing on Shem, implying the continuity of true worship and, eventually, the messianic lineage through Shem's family line. 3. Father of the Semitic line. From a genealogical standpoint, Shem is recognized by Jehovah's Witnesses as the forefather of the Semitic peoples. Genesis chapter 10, often called the Table of Nations, lists Shem's descendants. Arpachshad, Lud, Aram, and Asher are among those named, with Arpachshad being of particular interest because he's in the direct lineage that leads to Abraham. Jehovah's Witnesses frequently emphasize that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, all hail from Shem's line. Ultimately, the nation of Israel can trace its ancestry back to Shem. Importantly for witnesses, Jesus Christ, recognized as the Messiah, was also descended from this lineage. In their view, Shem becomes an ancestor not just of the Jews but of the ultimate spiritual blessings brought to humankind through Jesus. 4. Shem's lifespan and continuation of true worship. Biblical chronology, as understood by Jehovah's Witnesses, indicates that Shem lived 600 years, Genesis chapter 11 verses 10 to 11. He would have spent the first portion of his life in the pre-flood era, witnessing a world that had become corrupted, and then an additional 5 centuries after the flood, helping repopulate the earth under Jehovah's blessing. Shem's extended lifespan also spans a transition period, from a nearly destroyed human society to the re-establishment of worship and daily life after the deluge. According to witness interpretation, Shem's long life would have allowed him to serve as a living bridge of true worship. He had first-hand knowledge of the antediluvian world, the flood itself, and the direct instructions from Jehovah given to Noah. Through his family line, the knowledge of God's promises and commands could be preserved. This continued fidelity to God, culminating eventually in the patriarch Abraham, is a core theme Jehovah's Witnesses highlight to show how true worship survived the flood. 5. Prophetic lineage and blessing. A central emphasis among Jehovah's Witnesses is that Shem's line was chosen by Jehovah to be the one through which blessings would ultimately come to all nations. Genesis chapter 9 verses 26 to 27 captures Noah's words, "Blessed be Jehovah, the God of Shem," an indication that Shem's descendants would maintain a special relationship with God. Witnesses look at this passage as the foundation for the covenant relationship that would eventually be made with Abraham and then extended to the nation of Israel. Jehovah's Witnesses teach that these patriarchal blessings form the basis for an unbroken chain from Shem to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the nation of Israel, and later to the Messiah, Jesus Christ. They see Shem's lineage as pivotal in the outworking of Jehovah's purpose for humankind. This lineage theme is important in their Bible study material, which often chronicles the genealogical lines leading to Jesus, showing how God's promise to bless all the families of the ground, Genesis chapter 12 verse 3, would be fulfilled. 6. Clarification on common misconceptions. Some outside theories or religious traditions have tried to speculate on whether Shem could have been the mysterious priest king Melchizedek mentioned in Genesis chapter 14. Jehovah's Witnesses, however, do not teach that Shem was Melchizedek. Their understanding is that the Bible presents Melchizedek as a separate person who was a priest of the Most High God and the King of Salem, likely an early name for Jerusalem. JW.org materials and the Watchtower publications typically discourage unfounded speculation about identity overlaps that Scripture does not explicitly confirm. Please share and like and please subscribe.